Hi guys. I know I have a few more comments left that I have to answer on my last couple of entries, but today was kind of a weird, awesome day, and just one of those that I felt compelled to post about. Forgive me if my voice sounds a little. It is now full blown allergy season, though the weather can't decide if it wants to be cold or if it wants to be warm. We're like right in the middle of Indian summer right now. Um, the little creature here. This is little creature now. Rumble, rumble. Oh, little creature. Little creature decided to hop up on my counters last night and broke a plastic bowl that I use for storing things inside the fridge. It's one of the few that I have, so, little creature made sure I didn't have it anymore. We will probably be having a discussion about counters and Mama's dishes um, in the future. I can just see this. He's a stubborn little thing. But he decided to let me get at least 4 hours worth of sleep last night, so that was nice. And it probably helped a lot with today. It wasn't a bad day. Work went quickly. Um, I think I shocked my supervisor though, because she was saying how it sucks that on Fridays I leave at 1, which this has been my schedule for the last couple of weeks, because she gets slammed all the way up to like 2. And she asked me, can you stay over, until 2? And I was like, no, that quick too. And she was like, wow, that was fast. I'm like, well, you guys changed my schedule to where I leave at 1 o'clock now. I make plans after 1. So I'm leaving at 1 o'clock. And of course, I never leave exactly at 1 o'clock. It's always like 1:10, 1:15, because inevitably we do get people, or I'm cleaning up something, or I'm stocking something. So I always stay over a little bit. I don't like drop everything and like run. But it was awesome because I got to get my frappe thing today. I had a little coupon that says you can get a drink for free, and a lot of people aim for the coffee or aim for the set. No, I went straight for, like, of course, the most expensive drink we've got, and one of the better ones. So I got that for free today. It made my day better. Um, Came home and hung out with hubby for a little bit. I went to pick up the kiddos. It was a relatively nice day. I mean, we went, to Kroger and got some water, and it was just an ordinary day. I only had to call them down a couple of times. Like, the baby had to come sit down on the couch a couple of times because they were getting too noisy. But had a problem with my stove as usual. I swear, 1 out of 7 times that I actually try to fix dinner, I have this one burner on stove that never seems to want to work. I mean, it's an old stove, older apartment, old stove. It's one thing you got to deal with. So dinner was a little bit later than I'd like, but it was after dinner things really started getting interesting. Um, Number one, I decided, I caught up in all my shows that I truly want to watch. Still haven't seen American Horror Story. I think I've seen like the first episode and that's it. I still haven't seen MacGyver. I think I saw like the first 15 minutes of the first episode, and I was like, if they called it anything other than MacGyver, I guess it would be okay, if you don't mind arrogance and idiocy. Never mind the fact that obviously they've stolen whole sections off of the original show to like shove in there randomly. I don't know. But so I caught up with the Daily Show, read Daily KOS, which I'm going back through again because, the Great Orange One decided to act like complete and total ass, and now they're panicking. Really. But I turned on this new show. I'm like, well, heck with it. I've got it on my watch list called Drunk History, so it is absolutely hilarious. I am just dying. I'm seeing actors that I know, and I mean, it's just the most hilarious thing. You get little anecdotes about cities and different incidents within those cities, and you have people just like completely verschnickered, and you know that they know whatever it is they're talking about, but you get them hammered, and it turns into a complete and total. It's hilarious. You get history, and you get people telling history in a completely drunken manner, and however it is they're telling, that's how the actors are acting it, and it's just, if you have not seen Drunk History, take a look at it. It's hilarious. But it, like I said, it was after dinner when things really got interesting. So the baby goes quiet right around 9:15, which I kind of expect. They've cleaned their room, they've made their bed, they're getting ready to go to bed. But of course, it's the weekend, so the eldest wants to stay up for a little bit. And I'm like, I haven't heard from the baby. I mean, it's one of the nights when hubby goes in late, so I'm not really keeping too close a track of time, because I know they start to fall out around 10:30. Well, it's about 9:15, 9:30, and I'm like, where's the baby? So I call him in, and I'm like, do you have your dessert? And he has this funny look on his face, like, mm-hmm. I'm like, well, don't you want any water? Don't you want any juice? He's like, mm-mm. I said, baby, what's the problem? Are you okay? And he was like, I lost my tooth, and it's right. I mean, and I could see it. I'm like, oh, you lost your tooth? And he was like, I tried to put it back in. He's like, I tried to put it back in, but it wouldn't go in. And I didn't want you to see it, so I put it in the sink so that, you could help me put it back in. My youngest lost one of his baby teeth, and I guess the tooth fairy is for other people. Because he tried to put it back in there. I mean, logically, if it came out of the hole, it should go right back in. I mean, we may have to, sew it in there or glue it or whatever, but it should go right back in. And I'm like, baby, you should have kept the tooth and given it to me. Now the tooth fairy's going to have to look for it, but that's okay. I'll make sure she leaves you a nice shiny 50-cent piece. I said, but you're supposed to give the tooth to me. We can't put it back in there. There's another one that's going to be coming in and taking its place. And he was like, but I saved it because I didn't want you. I mean, the tooth is just gone. What makes my youngest funny is the fact that everything is serious. What he finds humorous is sometimes disturbing, okay? Most of the times it's just weird. I mean, he's got a really, really eccentric sense of humor. But things like, I lost my tooth, I mean, he works this stuff out and realizes, holy crap, it came out of the hole, so it can go right back in. If I lose a tooth, Mom's going to be mad, because then I guess I'd have to make another one. I don't know. Sometimes the logic escapes me. But at the same time, I mean, it makes sense. The tooth came out of the hole, it can go right back in. And gosh knows, with as much stuff as they lose, they can't go around losing their teeth out of their heads. That's just, I mean, yeah. This is the same baby that earlier this morning, had a conversation with his dad about how he needed to have a lunchbox. Because when you have a lunchbox, there's cool stuff in it, like M&Ms and bananas and things like that. And my husband asked me if we could get the baby a lunchbox, and I'm like, no. I'm like, if he takes a lunch in, I'm like, I'm going to have to start paying out for lunches, and we're, struggling to keep them fed at night. I'm like, if he walks in with a lunchbox, they're not going to give him lunch, they're going to assume he has it. And he was like, I can understand the logic. But at the same time, what we're thinking is that he's still hungry after he eats lunch, and being the youngest, he won't say anything. He won't get extra. He won't see if there's extra to be had. He just won't say anything. So to him, a lunchbox is logical, because if I'm still hungry, I open it up and magically there's stuff inside that I can eat. I honestly didn't understand what my husband was talking about. I'm like, he can have a lunchbox, but he ain't taking it anywhere. I mean, I figured he wanted it for the cool pictures in the front. No, he wants it because magically there's food inside. So this is my youngest today, discussing lunchboxes with his daddy, and then trying to cover up a lost tooth because Mama might be upset because he lost it and he couldn't get it back into his mouth. I just, there are just times when I can't. Okay, there's just times when I can't. I'm struggling to not laugh at this baby. Of course, I don't succeed. I never do, because he's so damn serious with it. He's just funny as hell. And this little creature, oh my god, I'm gonna wind up killing this thing. I'm gonna wind up killing it. This kitten, he makes my life hell 3/4 of the time. It's like a constant basis. I'm like, gonna act like a wild animal, I can put you back outside. And then he will come and become liquid in my lap. He's like, I love you. I love you. And then, it works. That's all I can say. It works. Um, so I get the kiddos to bed, just getting ready to wake hubby, and I keep hearing this tapping noise in the kitchen. And I noticed the kitchen did that, in the kitchen, I saw the kitten disappear, and I'm like, okay, he's not coming back out. That little ass better not be back on my counter. There's nothing to break up there right now, but he better not be on my counter. So I go in there, and there is water dripping steadily down onto my foodstuffs. Now, this happens at least once or twice a year with the AC, but we're like at the end of the season of having the AC, so I didn't expect to have any problems. But sure enough, I've got water. It's at least on top of the cookie package. It's on the new package of waters that I bought today. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. It's all underneath it. So there's like water. I mean, it's not quite everywhere, but it's reaching that point. So I call in the apartment maintenance man. Now, I'm having to get hubby up at the same time. So this is going to be interesting. I warn hubby what's happening. I get him up. And the kitten, this is funny, because Jack seems all nice and quiet, and he's really, really mellow, but if he feels that you're a threat, he'll come at you. This kitten is aggressive and all in your face, and I'm going to fight everybody, and I eat things, I kill things. I mean, this is how he behaves. So this maintenance man comes in, and he reacts like he wants to rush him, but at the same time, I'm not really sure who you are. Please don't get near me. Oh my god, he's going to step on me. Maintenance man gets up there, and of course, he has kind of like this air gun that blows the hoses out and gets whatever's caught up in there moving again, so I stop having water dripping everywhere. He fires that thing inside my ceiling, and the kitten bushes and like zips out of the room at like 500 miles an hour. It comes back, his tail bushed, and the guy makes the noise again, and the kitten freaks out. Of course, I'm laughing. I find this just absolutely hilarious. The maintenance guy is telling me about how he's seen a cat. Oh, I think it was an outside cat, and I was at this hotel, and I worked there, and they brought this cat inside. It was a great Mauser, and looked almost like that one. I'm like, well, he was an outside cat, too. That kitten reacted like this maintenance man was just going to eat him. I mean, that was his whole reaction. Oh my god, he is going to eat me. All the way till the guy left. Oh my goodness. So, that has been my day today. The baby's been funny. The kitten's been funny. I still haven't answered all the comments to my last couple of posts, so I will be getting that soon. I'm tired as hell, and I probably sound like I should be on Drunk History, because that's pretty much how I feel right now. I haven't even had anything. I'm not even a drinker. I've had nothing to drink, and I still feel, But, it was definitely not a bad day. I mean, it wasn't the best day ever, but there were definitely some good things about it. And I saw a post where a friend of mine had listed that October is positive month. I'm like, that's cool. I did not know that. Even though it's funny because I've been reacting so negatively, at least in my mind, to things over the last couple of days, and finding myself trying to retract, walk it back, and go, okay, well, Right now I'm tired, and I'm probably a little bit hostile mentally. So I'm viewing this in a negative light, and it may not be negative. It might be a positive, but I'm just viewing it as a negative because of, lack of sleep and poor attitude to go with it. So I'm going to try to remember that and try to find at least something every day to be positive about. Today I have several things. I mean, I had a coupon for a free drink, and I got an awesome free drink. I have a snoozy kitten on my lap. Oh, I love it. He has this pretty raccoon tail, and he's purring now. I had the pretty kitten on my lap, who makes me crazy most of the time. Yeah, that's 98% of the time he makes me nuts. But he's still a pretty baby. He's not my first choice in a cat, but he is a good baby when he wants to be. So that's the second positive thing. My youngest is funny, and whenever he does decide to actually tell us something, it is usually supremely logical on many levels, even as it may not make sense to us at that time. And we are going to try to get him to talk more about things, because trying to hide the fact he lost a tooth was kind of funny, but also kind of, losing a tooth is not the same as losing a book. It just isn't. So that's a positive thing. My kiddo's funny, and my AC now works without pouring water all over my floor. For those of you who do not know, there is a thing with me and water. I don't know what it is. I love water. I love swimming. I love showers. I don't like baths, but I love swimming. I love showers. I love water. It rains. I don't mind walking out in it. But I do mind water inside my house, and it seems the last apartment I had and this apartment both have water problems. This one's especially bad because, once again, we're the apartment at the ass end of everything, which means our AC will clog up, water will go everywhere. Pick a cabinet, it'll come out of it. Our toilet loves to clog up randomly. It's cute, it's absolutely adorable, it drives me crazy every time. I actually have 2 or 3 plungers near my bathroom just because of this. So, I don't have water on the floor anymore, and I managed to get up what water there was, so that's a bonus. So all in all, it was a pretty good day, and it was just one of those where I was like, I'm too lazy to actually type this shit, so I'm just gonna speak it. One more positive thing, I actually, DD3 read my Tex Murphy fic, so somebody actually read it. I'm super happy about that. Before I actually fall out on the couch, because I am that daggone tired, I will just go ahead and end this, which, once again, is probably like 10 minutes way too long. But I will tell you all that I will be keeping up with you over the weekend, and I will be answering those last couple of posts. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and I love you guys.